I'd like to dedicate this week's Webdvar to the young men and women who are learning in various Yeshivos and Seminaries in Israel for the year. I'm told that by them and by their families that many of them watch the Webdvar on a weekly basis, and I just want to tell them how very proud their families are of them and how very proud we are, and myself personally, of what they're doing, and how valuable spending a year or two in Eretz Yisrael learning Torah is, and that we hope that they have continued success, continued hatzlacha, and we hope that when they come back to us, that they're able to share with us from the experiences and from all of the Torah that they've learned over their time in Eretz Yisrael, in our homeland. Parshas Pekudai is the final parsha of Sefer Shmos. Parshas Pekudai is the last parsha that speaks about the erecting of the Mishkan. Next week we start to speak about what happens inside of the Mishkan. But Bnei Yisrael bring the Mishkan to Moshe, and Moshe says, okay, looks like everything is complete. Looks like the plans, B'tzalel held the plans, and the Mishkan appears to be just as the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted, and Moshe blesses the Mishkan. And in the course of describing everything that was brought, meaning the entire Mishkan, and describing all the elements of the Mishkan, the Torah refers to a certain element, which was a certain part, which is really a core component of the Mishkan, and that is the Adanim. The Pasuk says that there was Me'as Adanim. There were 100 Adanim, which meant 100 sockets that were in the Mishkan. These sockets held together the planks of the Mishkan, and without the sockets, the planks would just fall apart. So these sockets were really core to the building of the Mishkan, and really to the daily success of there being a Mishkan, that it was be able to take apart and put back together as Bnei Yisrael traveled throughout the desert. And so the Chidushei Harim points out that these sockets really have a significant impact on us on a daily basis, and we may not realize it. He says that there were 100 sockets, which were an integral part of the Mishkan, and there are 100 brachos, 100 blessings. The Gemara tells us in the name of Rabbi Meir that a Jew is required to make 100 blessings, 100 brachos a day. So the Chidushei Harim says, just as there are 100 sockets, so too there are 100 blessings. Just as the sockets were a core element of the Mishkan, so too the 100 brachos are a core element of the life of each and every Jew. And if we think about it, when do we make these 100 brachos? It might sound a bit daunting, but the reality is that if you daven 3 times a day, so in Shemona Esrei itself, there are 19 brachos. 19 times 3, you're already on the way. In Shabbos, we also managed to work out making 100 brachos. But says the Chidushei Harim that the 100 brachos a day is so significant to a Jew because life is so busy. We're so complicated. Everything is so complicated. We're running around doing various things, but yet we take the moment, we take the time when we're about to eat something. For example, if I'm sitting down to a roll for lunch and I wash my hands and I make an atilas yadayim, and then I wait and I pause and I make the bracha of motzi lechem min haaretz, and I focus on what that means, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, that Hashem brought out this lechem, this bread, from the ground, from the earth. Today, for us, it's not hamotzi lechem min haaretz, but one would think it's hamotzi lechem min bakery or hamotzi lechem min a supermarket. But it's hamotzi lechem min haaretz because there's so many parts involved to having that roll or having that bread that we're able to eat, and taking the time to appreciate that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given man the ability to take a grain and make it into bread. And that is something which is so significant when it comes to all of the brachos, the various brachos that we make, and not only about food. Also, when we go to the bathroom, we make the bracha of Asher Yatzar, the appreciation to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that everything works, and that we have the ability to excrete that which our body does not need. So says the Chidushei Harim, when it comes to the Mishkan, there were 100 Adanim. The root of the word Adanim is Adon, master. That through these Adanim, through these sockets, the Bnei Yisrael were able to connect to their master. The Adanim, the sockets, were the glue that allowed the planks of the Mishkan to hold together, but it was the glue that really binded the Jew, the individual Jew, the Jewish community, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And so too, the 100 brachos that we make every day is the glue that connects us with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the way in which we're able to appreciate and show our appreciation to HaKadosh Baruch Hu by making these brachos, by making these blessings, and showing Him that obviously He is so important and plays a tremendous role in our lives. So may we be zocheh to indeed make 100 brachos a day, thereby building a Mishkan, not only in the desert, but really building a Mishkan within us. Thank you for listening, and good Shabbos.